Welcome back, I'm Ryan from Bluewood Gaming, and today I want to show you Trackmania Nations, which is a free-to-play game that actually has a sequel that's a paid game coming out in about a week and a half from when this is going to be uploaded. Now, because I know my demographic, I know that most of you are going to have no idea what Trackmania is, and so let me just describe it to you really quick. Trackmania is essentially take a Formula 1 car and put it on Hot Wheels tracks. Like, you can see what's going on in the background, and surprisingly the cars handle what you would think a Formula 1 car would be, but it just puts it on these crazy tracks that you would never actually see a Formula 1 car go on. And the Trackmania that I'm showing off today is Trackmania Nations, the free version of the game that came out back in 2008, and it's kind of the Trackmania game that set up part of Trackmania 2, which some people may have seen Trackmania 2. It's kind of a successful racing game. It's actually split up into 3 parts called Trackmania Canyon, Stadium, and Valley. Those are the 3 different parts, and this Trackmania is set entirely in the Stadium section. So it's kind of a prequel to that, but that's back before they actually made Trackmania Stadium. And this was released back in 2008, but it still holds up to today. It kind of has the same graphics quality that you would see on low settings on Trackmania 2. The only thing that doesn't really keep up is the numbers that you see down on the bottom of the screen. Those are kind of pretty low resolution, and up in the top left it can be kind of low resolution at times, and up at the top right it can also be low resolution, but those are pretty much the only parts that are going to be super noticeably low resolution. The rest of it is very passable as a decent as a decent racing game. Another thing that you might see is sometimes the car's texture won't load in all the way, which it happens, and then the signs that are around the place, particularly those when you first start off on a track, those are also really low resolution, but everything else, as I said before, is completely fine. And you're probably asking yourself why go back and play this old game from 2008 when the new one's coming out in just a week and a half. And that's because Trackmania is not a game that you can just jump into. And I found that out when I jumped into this game, and because this game is, well, no one really keeps up with score on this game. It's a really good way to break into it, because one of the big things in Trackmania is getting the fastest time. You'll notice that most of the tracks on here don't take more than 45 seconds to complete, and people just, one of the biggest communities for this game is pretty much just getting the fastest speeds. Some people, if you look on YouTube, will spend hours and hours and hours on specific maps, just one single map, and they'll be trying to get just a tenth of a second off of their speed to maybe get the world record, or maybe just go a little bit faster than 99% of everybody else. And if you're somewhere that likes getting all the speed, then I would recommend checking out this game. Now, from what I've played of it, it takes about 5 hours to casually go through all the levels that I unlocked, which is about 80% of all the actual levels. They're set up into several different tiers. Those tiers include white, green, blue, red, and then black. And from what I've seen, It's like that in all Trackmania games, but I haven't played any of them except for this Trackmania Nations. So I could be wrong on that. I don't know. I'll have to consult with somebody that's played the other Trackmania games. But for Trackmania Nations, each of these tiers has 15 maps on it each. The first 5 are unlocked from the beginning. The next 5 maps have to, you have to have at least a silver medal on the previous 5 tracks in that tier until you get down to the red tier, and then you have to have gold to unlock maps 6 through 10 on that. And then the next set of maps in the tier that you unlock are maps 11, 12, and 13. Those you unlock if you get silver or gold on the red tier for maps 6 through 10. And sorry if this gets complicated. And then the final 2 maps on each tier. For Trackmania Nation, you have to do some social thing, like get a buddy on your buddy list, invite somebody to Trackmania Nations, just do all these different things. And then on the black tier, you have to do a one of 2 different things to unlock the 5 maps on there. To unlock maps 1, 3, and 5, you have to get a specific number of medals, which each map has bronze, silver, and gold depending on what time you get. If you get, say, gold medal, then you get 3 medals for that map. If you get silver, then you only got 2 medals for the map, and if you get bronze, then you only get 1, and then you can go so slow that you don't get any medals. So that's how you unlock tracks 1, 3, and 5 on the black tier, and then maps 2 and 4 you unlock through ladder points, which from what I've seen, it's some of the points that you get from playing online with other people, but because this game is so old, you're not really going to get the amount of ladder points needed to unlock those anymore. And so I actually haven't played any of the black tier maps, and I've only played the first 5 of the red tier maps because getting gold on all 5 of those maps is pretty much not gonna happen for me. So that's the parts that I haven't played. But for the parts, everything else, the white, green, blue tiers, you can play all of those pretty easily, or at least I found it pretty easily. And all in all, that's gonna take you about 5 hours if you don't want to go back and try to get really, really amazing times. And there's actually, you can look it up, and there's skips that you can do on some of the maps that give you drastically reduced times. There's some skips that give you just a little bit of a reduced time, but this game could hold you over for the next week and a half. And as I said in the beginning and since, that this game is free, so there's no real reason that why you shouldn't play it for the next week and a half. And you also have the added benefit of having years and years of custom tracks that you can download from the Trackmania Nations forum. I don't remember the exact name of it now, and if it actually is in a forum setting, because I've only been there once, but there's years of those tracks that you can go and download and play, and then there's also years of custom car skins that you can go. So I think there's enough content here to get you into Trackmania enough so that you don't look like a complete noob and utterly fail and get frustrated when the new one comes out and you can't play all that well. And right here on the screen you can see I go through all the different tiers and such, and you can see how the final 2 maps on each tier are locked out. And that's pretty much all I gotta say for Trackmania Nations. As always, I'm Ryan from Bluerty Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Probably going to be another MTG video. Probably not going to be another deck tech for a while, but it should be another Commander game. So, as always, I'm Ryan from Bluewood Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.